Hey, Jack. Can you hear me? All right. Let me turn on my camera. Testing, testing, testing. Where's my camera? Okay. Let me see. Jack, I can't hear you if you're speaking. Can you hear me? Testing, 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 testing. Okay. Okay, Jack. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Is I cannot hear you. Hmm. Uh, Hold up your hand if you can hear me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Try another machine. Okay, I'm going to try again. That's promising. That's promising. Still cannot hear? Okay, one more. Testing, 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 testing. No? Can you hear me? Okay,
Now,
I can hear you now.
so my MacBook was not, let me put these back on and find out why they're not working. Hang on. Working.
Okay, testing, 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 testing,
Now they're
testing.
working.
Okay.
All right, we're on.
Okay. In the meantime, I know I missed at least two or three Sundays. I completely overslept. And I apologize for that, Jack. I
Well,
usually try to be
I
online.
actually have used my cell phone as an alarm clock so I don't miss them.
I have three cell phones, each, at least two of them with all the right alarms, and I slept through them because both nights, and this is not an excuse, just an explanation. I had stayed up till about 3:30 in the morning
Ah,
working on
well,
something.
okay. Well, you were chasing your lady or getting drunk or whatever.
Neither. I was actually studying investment chart patterns, price action.
Well,
So when
that's fun.
have you ever spent time doing that?
Oh yeah, I've written programs to do it. It's a really it's a fun thing.
Are they profitable, your programs?
Well, some are, some aren't.
Okay, did you
I'm
disappear?
no,
Okay.
no. I'm having a senior moment. There is a mechanism. Um, I'm going to have to find it and send you a link to it. It's about a book that when you buy it from Amazon, you tear the cover off because you don't want people on the airplane to see what you're reading. But it's How to Be a Millionaire in the Stock Market, and it's by a mathematician who said that as people people tend to look for the bottom and then buy and then look for the top and then sell. And the thing about it is when they are selling, turns out to be the right time to be buying. And so you buy on the way down and then you sell on the way up. And while it doesn't make you these 10 bagger, 100 bagger killers, um, it it's a proven steady growth. Um, and he invented a mechanism that has a spring that says that has the equivalent of a tension, a spring that says um, you don't buy until this spring says it's the right threshold, and then you buy, and then you start selling when the spring has been pulled the other way. And what I did is I wrote an evolutionary program to try thousands of different tickers to add to it that were basically moving averages that said whatever it says, don't buy when you're below this average, and don't sell when you're above it, blah blah blah. And it turned out that it was a 365-day moving average, just really improved the shit out of its performance. And so I published that article in an online group that talked about it. And there was a guy who made an Excel spreadsheet that does it, and he added my it was a commercial product, and he added my moving average trade rule to it, and then he sent me a copy. I don't know that I have it anymore. It's been lost in old computers, but it's called the Licello method. Licello, Anthony Licello. Let me go to Google. Hang on a second.
Like you, I'm also looking at these interesting correlations in price movement and volume and demand. Obviously, I'm starting from other people's work as well. And so it's fascinating what patterns, do 55%, what patterns do 70%. But some of the ones that are higher reliability on a win have very bad risk reward ratios. And some of the ones that actually do worse really get you those big wins when they win.
So so put those terms that I put in the text box. Licello AIM, Automatic Investment Management. And I was in their online group for years. Um, and wrote a I wrote a program that runs it. Um, and yeah, I did a little bit of that kind of trading in the past, but lately I've kind of gone back to just picking one or two stocks whose stories um, are 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 good. And there are two of them. Is one is Archer, and the other is Joby.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we talked about that before. Joby has done some recent experimentation.
Well, Joby, the thing I like about Joby is it partnered with Toyota, whereas Archer partnered with Stellantis, and Stellantis is a kind of a dullard, in my opinion. Um, but Joby also went and partnered with NVIDIA. And so I've long I first bought Archer, and I made $10,000 with it, and got out, and now I'm in Joby, and right now I'm slightly underwater, but it doesn't matter. It's what I liked about Archer is it had the contract for uh, being an Airbus air taxi for the LA Olympics.
Which are not going
Um,
to happen anymore, right?
well, I don't know that. I don't know that. I know that the Dodgers actually finally turned the series around and won the last game, but that doesn't mean so I don't know what the Olympics are going to do, but I'm not in archer anymore, so I don't care. But I do I do like the Joe. You know, to me, Joby is more historical than Archer. Joby, I can remember when Joby first got its Air Force contract to do trials, and that's long before Archer. And then suddenly Archer appears on the field. It's got a lot of money and you know whatever. And I was attracted to the idea that the LA Olympics, so I bought it at $5 and and you know I did okay with it, but I've settled on Joby as as the more robust story.
I'm curious though, you haven't heard the rumblings that internationally there's activity um, going to Mexico and Canada rather than the US for the upcoming Olympics?
So you know, none of that would in fact surprise me. I mean, an international reaction to to current current political environment here
Mhm.
is not surprising. And uh, if you want my honest opinion, I think that's a good thing because it almost guarantees that the midterms and the 2028 are not going to go well for a certain political party.
That's assuming we have those elections.
Well, yeah, you have your conspiracy theory that I don't share, but that's all right.
Um, could we calmly cover some of that material?
Let's you know, we can calmly cover anything. By the way, I like that roadway that leads to a big red moon. That's a really nice image.
I got that because it's a standard default wallpaper on one of my Linux distributions that I installed.
I had no idea.
And when I'm sitting in front of it, in fact, I think I'll show you my head. I just put it just so that my head is right in the middle of it.
Right.
So let's see what that looks like.
Yeah, no, your head is just now that's as cool as it gets, but then so it's cool. It gives you a red domed hat, but it takes away the road and the entire dynamic of what the picture is really doing.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
Not a
Not a
perfect
perfect
background,
background,
but
but
it
it
was
was
interesting
interesting
until I
until I
find a
find a
better
better
one.
one.
Now I hear two of you.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Yeah,
Turn
turn
that
that
microphone
microphone
off.
off. Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Actually, it means that the other one, the one you're sitting in front of, was working fine.
So, yes, once you fixed your
Yeah, once I
earbuds,
fixed mine, and I don't know why, because Zoom says I recognize your earbuds,
mm,
but it wasn't listening or talking. But you
well,
can
I
probably
was
turn your
trying to nullify the hypothesis that it was on my side. So
well,
that's
no,
why I
we
was.
both were because I was convinced my earbuds were working, but they
Oh, but see, if we both are changing things, then we can't really reliably
that's
narrow it down to one, right?
well, but when I pulled my earbuds off and it's funny how when they go out of your ear, um, the system immediately says, "Oh." we're not using them anymore.
Yeah,
And then I heard you.
yeah, yeah. In fact, let's see, when did I get my earbuds? Like 22 or 23. So they're about 3 years old. They're unreliable as far as their connection now. These here, in fact, this entire time, I've only been hearing you in my left ear. This right one is not working. So
That's interesting.
if this one is working, I'm going to get off of this device and get back onto that device. Okay. So let me try that.
Now, well, you're muted now.
Okay. How's this?
That's fine.
Okay, good. So I was wondering whether I had misconfigured all of my devices here.
I got my earbuds uh, to be. I got the version that can be a set of hearing aids,
That's actually
and
quite cool. Yeah.
so that's I've got them, but you actually have to train them to 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 have it turn into a hearing aid. And during training, some neighbor's dog starts barking all the time, and the system says, "I'm sorry, I can't."
All right,
we
Jack. For that reason alone, just come on up here. There's peace and quiet. You bring your earbuds. You can train them here, okay? And then you can go back to California.
yeah,
Uh,
I would need to join in because
oh,
I
Heiner.
have my earbuds calibrated to the low and high tones. Otherwise, I would need to buy a very expensive, silly device. So
that's my problem. Yes.
it's the
Uh,
same with me. They make a rip-off, but my acoustic filmmaker friends, they say it's very easy. It just needs good Apple earphones and some smart training for the right level of
that's
deep sound.
that's what you do. Yes, and when you go to your iPhone and it says, "Oh, you're trying to use hearing aids," and so you click the button and it says, "Let's train them." And it sits there and it does the beeps and it boops and all of the other stuff, and then the damn dog starts barking and it says, "I'm sorry, we're having problems," and it shuts down.
And you will train it here also in Berlin? I need it
Well,
here.
ay, ay, ay. Well,
My, my,
hey, Heiner, just so
my,
you know,
no, no, my friend is in Brazil for the COP30, and so he cannot do it. And I told him yesterday I'm not going, and he was really saddened. We have about 30 people for 10 days there, and I do it with him for 10, 15 years. All this climate circus without stepping back and seeing the whole issues. No, I had an accident, and so I will not be able to do the quartermaster vaccine troubleshooting for him. So we are very active people. So Sam, when are you coming?
I've been there. Remember, we've met, but
No,
um,
Berlin. Berlin.
oh, not Berlin, not Berlin. Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe next year there's a very high probability. I would say there's at least a 65% probability next year. Let me say it that way. Okay?
Well, I'm guilty anyway. You wanted to come, and I said, no, I cannot manage beside the whole crowd. And they all wanted to come in our early GCC
I remember. I
environment.
remember.
So I'm guilty, and you can count on that. I will remember like an elephant.
I remember that. But you did show up for what? One day or half a day?
No, I came, but you and the whole group didn't then come with me to Berlin and leave from there.
Yeah,
So
but wait. That's after we changed plans so many times because I was coming to Berlin, then you said no. So then I went to Gertraud's place, and then you joined us at Gertraud's place, but there were many different changes in plans.
yes,
So
because I was somewhere in Munich and Brussels. I don't know how it was fitting my schedule. And I just felt they all wanted to come with you together to Berlin. And I said, no, I cannot manage. And I don't want to be a bad host. I'm either a good host or no host.
Heiner, wait. There was no implication that you host us. We would have stayed at some Airbnb or hotel or someplace. So I really had hoped you wouldn't feel that way. But
No,
too
no,
late.
no. If you bring two nice girls, it's okay.
Wait. I'd have to protest that. I have to protest that. This thing is on recording, Heiner, okay?
Okay,
So,
so no boys.
what?
No boys.
No boys.
I'm joking.
Anyway, since I
Put
just raised the point,
put the
let's drop
recording
that
on.
point.
We don't need that anyway.
Okay. All right. Um, but I was just checking with Jack on this. What were we talking about, Jack? Whether or not the US is about to have any more elections. Yeah. So I'm not sure that Heiner will be interested in that, though.
This
So,
is my concern day and night.
no, I firmly believe, well, let's say 96.2% probability that we will not ever have another presidential election here in the United States.
I disagree because you shouldn't say ever.
Any civilization that has seen its peak and then come back down has not ever reemerged, has it? Okay? Whether it's the Mayans, the Peruvians, the Sumerians, the Greek, the Romans, once they reach their peak and once they hit their decline, they have never come back.
So it's another we you're talking about.
No, what we?
After the Romans, there was also another big thing and another big thing, and also with other cultures, but it's not that civilization anymore. And
Right.
that is actually my topic. I had a big success recently on the not the clash of civilizations, but the dialogue among civilizations. I finally got the book. You will not believe it. After searching for it for 25 years or so. It was hidden from all libraries, and now I got it through a library in Chiang Mai in Thailand.
Ah. I came across a fascinating data point yesterday. There's a very, well, reputedly well-known historian and scholar who said that oligarchies only go away for four reasons. Okay. And none of those reasons look like they're going to apply here in the United States. One is either they crumble on their own, which I guess is, an internal festering. Another is war. Another is violent civil revolution. And another is plague. Those are the only four that this historian has discovered are ways that oligarchies and power-hungry administrations and regimes get removed. So here
Mhm.
in the United States, pick one, you know, and none of them look like they're very attractive to me. Jack, 1 through 4, pick a number.
Now give me the name of the historian.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now because I just bought his book yesterday after I found out. So I'm going to go look that up right now because clearly I have not read it yet. I just came across this thing yesterday. Okay. So let me find that reference. Okay.
So, Heiner, that book you showed is available. It's a 2003 book.
It is
And
it is a conference series dedicated from 2001, directly after September 11, the crash, and
yeah,
it was published after 5 years editing by the UN, and it is not available. That's why I asked them to make me a copy, and they did and brought it to my home 10 days ago.
well, so it says Dialogue Among Civilizations. Who does it say is the author?
Well, I have it already scanned. I could give it to you, but
No,
I'm
just
working on the history. So it even has an ISBN.
okay. Hold up the book cover again.
The general editor is Achim D. Ködermann, and it was published Global Scholarly Publication 2005, and it has the ISBN 1-59267-044-X. But it was not available for me. I was searching for it because I had a copy in 2007, and then that copy disappeared. Someone found it too interesting. So it's statements from the Pope, from Kofi Annan, the UN General Assembly Resolution 5523, and it's really all the big shots trying to make peace and involve other cultures. And I had an invited essay in the second volume. So you see? And now I can prove that it exists. And it was only to be found in, I think, Fordham University, Jesuit University in New York, according to WorldCat. And in Thailand. And now I heard through research that I found there is a copy in a library in Indonesia, but the whole thing disappeared, and it's not in the UN library. So Dag Hammarskjöld Library in New York, all this, no success. I had professional researchers from Humboldt University Library. I mean, I was in that field. To find it too, no, it's a miracle. So it's a deep miracle. It is in my volume with Pope John Paul II, Message on Matteo Ricci, and with Syed Mohammed Khatami. And that was a problem. You might know he is Iranian. He's not president anymore. He's thrown out of business, and he is
Yeah, he
now
was thrown out, right?
an NGO guy in Iran. And I was the first um, invited author with the title Dialogue Towards Unity in Diversity with Cheryl Staninsky. And we had it ready as this title, Unity in Diversity, was our paper 1 month earlier with the 100 years Bertalanffy systems guys. 100 years Bertalanffy. We started the center directly in early November. I mean, 2-3 months after September 11. So it is very, very competitive in that time in New York, in the US, in anywhere. And so the US left the United Nations, and after years later, UNESCO was able to continue, but then they called it Dialogue of Civilizations. And that is already starting the tricky issue. Is it multi or is it dual governance, or is it the ruling of the few or the one? And who is the holy one? And for sure, the hardcore Muslim people also said, yes, we are helping to make the world civilization as the pinnacle and the pillar of everything. But that was not what Khatami said. Khatami said September 11 was un-Islamic. And so there are all these schools of moderate and hardcore blockheaded Wahhabitic schools were clashing as well. And so the whole issue of Huntington, Clash of Civilizations, and dialogue among civilization was so hot that only UNESCO could take it on, but they had to take it without the original statements from the heads of states. And they do this typical editing with a good editor who's throwing people in and out. But you cannot do it when you have heads of states presenting at the UN. And so it's a very tricky business to edit such a work. And it took 4 years to edit. And then the whole publisher, I had everything on the web, and then it all disappeared. It is a real nightmare. This publisher, it is called GSP, Middle East Studies Program. It was based on Fordham University in New York, where I found also a copy in the library, but I couldn't get it, and so I couldn't get the PDF. It's like in the Vatican. It's
Wait,
lost somewhere in the vault.
so I get the story about how to find it, but what's the main thesis of the book and the author?
These are the 200 top people speaking about the possibility and the need and the urgency to have a dialogue among civilizations. It was a dream job of Kofi Annan to have us talk on same eye height and not like what you say, oligarchy or whatever fundamental group. And so it was too diverse to be put into a book, but these editors have done a great job with invited essays and with editing and panel discussions. And it is so valuable. I would love to read them both for the next 1 or 2 years to learn a little.
So you're saying
You say you
there's
you say
Pardon?
you have it scanned?
I have just received it. It is not the original paperback. They made a copy and then they have binding it. So it looks like the original printed book, but it is copies, you see? Copy
Yeah.
machine
Yep.
being put together. I have copied the central parts and my essay because I need it in another environment. And the whole, I have to go again to this Humboldt University. They have good equipment that I can do the scanning myself. But it was always a problem of copyright. But as the publisher is gone and the UN has forgotten about it, I think I should make more than just my own article available.
Heiner. What's the exact title? Because I'm not finding it in Amazon.
There is a book with that same title at Amazon, Dialogue Among Civilizations, but
Oh,
it's not the same book.
No, sure not. There were some people from certain states and some of the invited people who were publishing under the same title, just their blurb. And so,
That's what this was. Yes, this
and
was 2003.
well, this was finally ready 2005.
Right, but there is a
Here,
it's
here is the
50,
official resolution adopted by the United Nations. This
right.
you can also find under 5523 in the UN documents, but not the statements of the heads of states, because you cannot edit what a head of state said. It is not a subject of an editor to correct a statement in the General Assembly. Oh, I told a lot of stories I wanted to present one day in written and in one, and now it's already there. So you see, it is Fingis Pingabodir. She was the head of Iceland. She was with us in the Club of Budapest, and she presented that in July 2001 at UNU, which was a pre-conference. So they did a lot of effort. Kofi Annan only had two big dreams. This was the first, dialogue among civilization, and the other was vision television, cultural rights, cultural needs, cultural responsibilities, also in the UN, where we had all heads of any kind of media and communication and television and channels and radio discussing with the government and the civil society. It was one of the most exciting, energetic sessions I ever attended, because this was when all these things started around what later we called internet and cyberculture.
So, Heiner, found a podcast called International Day for Dialogue Among Civilizations, hosted by Liu Xin. Do you know Liu Xin?
No.
And this podcast release date is June 2024.
June 2024.
Yes,
I mean, last year.
last year.
Send me the link. You see, I'm coming from a 3-4 weeks ordeal of another major event. And so preparing Belém and the COP, I didn't have time, and I cannot follow up all these discussions. But that link, as it is up to date, is very much of interest to me.
Can you see that link, that big ugly link I just put in chat?
Read AI DD.
No, 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 no. Audible.com podcast.
I don't see it in the chat. Meeting analytics for
Wait, let me,
to the meeting.
I posted in the right place again.
It's not in the meeting chat yet.
Jack, do you see it?
What is it I'm supposed to see?
A big ugly link from audible.com.
No.
No,
Wait a minute. Yes,
I
it's
cannot
there.
see it. I cannot see it on two devices.
Well, Jack sees it.
You have to scroll down.
You see, there is geocoding and geoboundaries. Never heard of that?
In text? Are they doing that to the text?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I don't know why it is not here. No clue. It should be in my chat window.
Well, I put it where Jack was saying,
I I have here the meeting chat. Alle? Oh, oh, I was on the wrong dot. It was not meeting chat. It was alle, all. And there, this new International Day of Dialogue, I see under Audible a link.
yes.
No, I will check out who is Liu Xin.
That's why I was asking you.
I have no idea. But I will try to find out immediately.
Yeah. But
Well, it's good to have you in communication.
well, the miscommunication What was George Bernard Shaw says something, the most amazing thing or the most incomprehensible thing about communication is that we ever believe that it happens.
Yeah. Surprise, we say. Surprise in nature, surprise in groups.
Okay, good. I'm glad you saw that because hopefully this is connected to what you were talking about.
She seems to be a moderator in China
It's a Chinese name. I haven't.
for Chinese television moderation, and she's an astronomer.
One or the other, or but probably not both, because there's a zillion Lius out there.
I believe so
And
too.
Probably.
This one is a Chinese TV star and a obeying's moderator. Obeying. It says she tackles skepticism and has a series on CGTN on presenting world issues and features international. There's a YouTube about CGTN. Yes, she is with Jeffrey Sachs and some alternatives on the way. So it is her. This Jeffrey Sachs is also such a regenerate. How do you say? Renegade.
Which is an interesting thing to be if you're in China.
Well, regenerate depends on the country you're presently in. And he's been moving all over the planet. If she would be in Singapore or Taiwan, I would be more happy.
So, can I go back to one of the comments that I heard maybe 2, 3 minutes ago? I forget who said it, but one of you said that she was an astronomer.
Well, maybe it was a wrong Liu Xiu or whatever her name is.
No, but wait. Even if it's wrong, to me, there's enough evidence that people like Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse Tyson, um, Michiko what was his name? Kaku, and
Yeah, I know
Brian,
all the names. I know
these
all the names, yes.
who have such perspective have a very valuable voice in how we can level up. Because most people are just going about their day buying their $7 lattes, not even thinking about things that they cannot see. But I think if you've got a multi,
Unity in a divided world as the West grapples with the differences,
your English is pretty good.
are converged.
Her English is pretty good, yes. And she is very much doing it also. It looks like, I don't know. It looks like she's also in an Arab country like Dubai.
So
Taiwan's forgotten
right now,
history.
Heiner,
Yes?
I was trying to make a point about astronomers and perspective, and I think you checked out.
No, I heard, but you didn't
It wasn't.
complete the sentence. And definitely with Carl Sagan, all this, it makes sense to have an extra and wider perspective.
The point I was trying to make was if you study something that is orders of magnitude away from normal experience, either on the macro scale or on the micro scale, like the quantum physicists, and the people who study quarks and basic elements of nature, you then can apply that to perspective in normal life, but you only reach 0.001% of people, it seems. And that to me is a fundamental problem, is that the people who are at the frontiers of knowledge and the frontiers of perspective seem not to be able to communicate with quote unquote regular normal people, unquote. That was the statement I wanted to make.
Okay, we did it with the White House conference in the German Chancellery on the 30th of May 1990. I presented this challenge by creating this Rubik's Cube or black box nature, and I'm struggling with that now for 35 years. So your argument is perfectly correct. It is very hard, but we are trying now with youth and in other environments because I didn't give up, and there is no reason to take anything of the statements back, even when the central government and all our ministries tried to burn the whole exhibition. I saved it overnight, and I own it now. I'm a, how do you say, a curator. Interesting. This is a good lead, Sam.
But I think that that difficulty, that gap, which Sagan presaged, may be unbridgeable.
I have met him. I knew his second wife and his first wife, and we've been in Pasadena before Rio. It must have been late 91 or early 92. And I think he is on the right way, and we have to continue not just the magnitudes, but also the sectors and the time scales. And this is what I'm telling you since we know each other, since 10, 15 years.
No disagreement.
Okay.
I actually
Some Chinese
attended a lecture of his, I think this was in the 70s,
find in
around
history.
1973 or 1974. He was visiting
Okay.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. He was giving a
Okay.
speech at the University of New Mexico. My dad took the entire family
And Chinese President
to
Xi
listen to
Jinping,
Carl Sagan.
of the Council of
Yes.
State,
And that was his billions and billions speech.
declaration is expected to be issued
Very
to the
famous.
future of the world's largest.
Somebody's talking in the background. What is that?
Yes, it is still this Chinese lady. I switch her off.
Whenever I speak, Heiner checks out.
No, I had it in parallel mode.
Yeah.
You're perfectly right.
Good.
This was the mission of Carl Sagan. We have been at GPL in Pasadena with all these people those days. There are lots of publications everywhere. It is difficult to find the right language and make it tangible. And especially now we have multimedia, multimodal information. And so our mindset, especially of the people in charge, are not able to really bridge different ways of representations of sign systems, of symbol systems.
Heiner, how can we bridge if we're not listening to each other?
Well, I do it. I do it with young people, and you just do it in an extra mode. You just not do it and leave the micro world of your fish eye or your worm's perspective and go to the bird's eye or God's eye. You developed reference schemes, which includes across the scales, across the sectors and languages, and across the times. That's why I was building it, because I couldn't tell it to all these research institutes and agencies of Germany. The film is nearly ready. What we did 1990, we celebrated 2020, 30 years with a large video Zoom recording, and now we are working on 2050. How to really do what I'm trying to tell you in words, but you cannot use words only. You have to do it also in concrete, tangible, immersive models. And that is my thing, model theory and system theory. And always and or not either or, black and white, good, bad. That is my argument or my thesis.
Jack, did you hear my question?
I think I missed it.
Okay.
What was the question?
My question to Heiner was, how can we bridge that unbridgeable gap if we don't listen to each other?
Well, if we
Which
don't
which
dance together and don't go to the same sandbox, it needs more than talking to each other. It needs understanding each other. That's why a good friend wrote, whatever I learned in kindergarten.
That was someone from my high school, by the way.
Ah, yes. He has a residency in Chania, which is a monastery in Crete.
You're talking about Robert Fulghum, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He grew up here in Seattle.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He really went to the Orthodox Academy there, and I did many conferences with the World Academy and the World Religion groups and. Well, he knows why he retired in Chania.
Bachania, do you mean Kenya?
Chania. Chania is a town with an Orthodox monastery in um, in the northwest of Crete, where the film Alexis Zorbas was done, and where Theodorakis was living, and Katsantzakis was this film guru and the big writer of
Jesus.
yes, for example, also Jesus. Yes, I like this Katsantzakis museum very well. And one of his somehow extended family is a guy I talked with this morning, Alexander Christakis, where we now work on 50 years, 60 years global problematique, how it all started. But also this I told you about many years ago.
I still
Sorry,
so
I'm at you. I'm bashing you, and I have to be short because I have a visitor now. I had this accident 2 days ago, and so someone has to come and do some helping me, and we have a little whining.
by whining, you mean drinking wine?
Well, I hope he's bringing some nice food to eat, otherwise we have to cook. I have a kitchen garage I call bakery as my home.
Uh-oh. That'll be dangerous for me.
Yes, that's why you are invited.
Ah,
so
Jack, you.
the whole business of getting people to listen is exactly what the topic quest vision is about. And
exactly.
it blew right out of Engelbart and my PhD research. It seemed to me it was like a garden path. And I have critics who say you can't do it on a global scale. Um, but I believe we can. We have to start hyper local. That's exactly where you start. And in fact, you start in classrooms with kids. Because if you don't get the adults, the adults are not going to come in and play role playing games. It's going to
Right,
be the kids.
right,
And but we've had a number of adults who say, well, I will come in and run some trial quests while you're developing your system. So that's fine. But it's not like they're going to come in and be lifelong members that engage in global quests. But I can remember going to a little shopping area in the Bay Area where in the very same shopping mall, very small one, there were three childhood enrichment businesses within steps of each other.
Was it Cupertino?
Yeah.
Bing.
And so we know that as a business model, we know that there is a market, but it's an unfair market because it means that the wealthy families will send their kids to these enrichment things, and it gives them a leg up over the lesser endowed kids. So our intention is to see to it that we have some kind of a scholarship mechanism to ensure that lesser endowed kids can also come in and join.
Is it Vision Quest? I couldn't get it acoustically.
Topic.
No, vision topic quests.
Oh, never heard about it. I only
Topic quests is my foundation.
Topic
I have
question.
I never heard about it.
Well, so go to sensecraft.garden.
Can you type it?
Yeah.
Sense Garden?
Sensecraft.garden. It's HTTPS.
No, please type.
I just put it in there.
Okay, because we German take all your vowels always the topsy-turvy. And so to really find it, because it's very, very important for me, because this was the idea of the exploratorium we had in the early 17 in San Francisco. And this is what we did with the youth, which came with all the futurists to Finland, to Turku in 1993, and I started with them the children communication camp to really do this workout things, and we do it with Scandinavian work groups, uh, having not a teacher, but having a big task like rebuilding a monastery or um, finding out what their urge is, what they want to study. And these are called work camps. And it's all based on how navigators, how pathfinders, how builders, how masons have been always operating across scales and hands-on in models, not just in systems. I like that very much. I will make a copy.
So sensecraft.garden is a website where we have a demonstration that's not it's not ready for public yet, but it's starting to get better, and that's what I like about it. Um,
You
but
can
at
send
any
it to me in confidence, in private.
no,
To,
no, no. I gave you a link. You can go there,
okay.
and in fact, you could in fact sign up, create an account, and then you contact me. Um, and I'm going to give you my email address. You probably already have it.
Yeah, again, it's always better. I'm already on the website and I'm really thrilled.
And so, what I would be happy is if you joined some of our experimental quests. There's a lot of dumb quests up there that were just there to see if we could break the system. They have junk game moves, but we're now starting to do serious quests, and the idea is we've only done single guild quests. What we're about to do is invite roughly a dozen people or more, and that would form two guilds. And what you want to do is get it to where you've got hundreds of guilds, but we're not there yet.
What is a guild?
Okay, you have to go back to the ancient times when guilds were a craft centered thing where you came in as an apprentice and worked your way up, journeyman, and so on and so forth, and you learned a trade, shoe horsing or saber making or whatever.
Okay,
Um,
we have a similar word, and I'm fully with you. All the Dombaumeister, all the people building the cathedrals, they were the master of all the gilden.
yep.
And
So it's the
in,
same story.
in French, it's the compagnons. And I was
Okay.
with all these French organizations learning their specific craft. And to bring it all together, that's my struggle, at least since the early 2000.
Well, we don't say it in public, but the craft that you will learn if you join our guilds is to be a better citizen.
Yeah, perfect.
We don't say that in public, but I can tell you this: there is a tremendous amount of scholarship on World of Warcraft and EVE Online role-playing game guilds, and it goes without saying that this is the padded cell where you take badly behaved people and let them learn how to behave.
I like it.
So that's what we're up to. Um, and now I'm going to drop off because I've got to fix breakfast. I've got a big 11 o'clock Zoom coming up, and
Oh, yes, I
that
know some of the people on board there, Ted and Jerry. Very, very interesting. You made my day. I also have to dash off.
all right.
And we were very lucky today because we had the time shift and I came early because I was not sure in which direction the 1 hour time shift was.
You do it
So
on
normally
Well, and
because
I
we're
would
tomorrow.
only come now to the session.
yeah, and but Sam actually managed to wake up in time this morning to come to our session today,
Yes,
which
incredible, son. Congrats.
Yeah, well, I think it's old age affecting
the
Maybe
not you.
prostate
By the
issues.
way, Heiner, we are going through a time change in the next 20 hours or so. So it'll be off by another hour tomorrow.
what are we doing daylight savings time again?
I think this is it. Yes. Tomorrow is
So
Sunday.
tomorrow.
So we fall back.
So you do
Ah,
the same time like I'm doing now.
No, what I'm saying is we are adjusting our clocks here in the US
And why are you doing it 2 days later than we do?
because stupid people can't talk to each other, okay? They don't listen to each other. We can't figure out the dialogue among civilizations.
Okay,
we
blame on you. Good night and good luck.
all right.
Wasn't my
Sam,
decision.
Sam, maybe I'll see you later.
Okay. Good to see you by both today.
All right, bye.
Biden.
Sam,
Yes?
you didn't switch off the machine yet?
No. Because this
Why?
goes on for another 50 minutes. Somebody might still join.
Okay, because I wanted to tell you something about this center which we involve in our tea ceremonies with these entrepreneurships, where we do this tea salon and where I have kindred spirits I wanted you to introduce to. And they're with us very much having an East, West, Asia, Pacific, Europe, and whatever experience living in Taipei, Singapore, Tokyo, Beijing, or Hong Kong, and are with us in a very interesting place. I called you Sea Space, and you can, I think I've sent you already the link with all the Chinese graffiti on it or so.
I saw
This
the
is,
space. It was a fascinating decoration. Yes.
it's not a decoration, it's 2 floors in a large factory, and two people were living there for 2 years during COVID. And the whole space is about really East, West, and cultures and traditions and religions. And there I also have another friend who is also a co-founder who just came from California, who is doing with us all this advanced computing thing. He was with SAP and he's lived 25 years in the Bay Area. His name is Tim. I introduce you one day, but he's like me, very busy. Just resettled back home.
I look forward to meeting Tim.
I sent you the link.
My
Okay, so I
sister-in-law.
switch my I switch my camera off, but I will hear you if someone interesting is coming up. I have to clear a little bit because I have 2 visitors coming.
Okay. All right, Heiner.
Anybody here? Hello. I'm late.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Heiner.
You missed something. We had a great session today.
Yeah.
Sam can report, and I think he will do also the recording. We discussed with Jack Sensecraft Garden and all my work around dialogue among civilization and involving not just the youth, but the people.
Nice.
And I decided yesterday afternoon to not go to COP30 to Belém.
Oh, why is that?
Good reasons. I was invited and urged 5 times. And then about a week or 2 weeks ago, I couldn't say no anymore. And I said yes. But now, last afternoon, I had to say no. But it is like a sign from heaven or the duty to have so many other things to be done in Berlin and the world. In the 2 weeks I would have been in Belém, and I had an accident. But all this I already said before. So it was the hospital telling me, and also my friends told me not to do this ordeal of 30 people, Belém, the whole climate summit circus.
Hmm.
Sorry, I have no short answers.
It's okay. No, I'm glad you're happy about that decision. And I'm sorry about your accident. Well, sorry I'm late. I decided to start writing. And I'd been looking for like creative writing classes or memoir classes or any type of classes, but a friend of mine had suggested that I do what's called Storyworth. And at first, when I looked into Storyworth, I was like, I'm not going to pay $100 to write when I can write. And then I went back and forth to look at some of these blogs and these websites that basically say, they give you tools to outline your writing. And the funny thing is, I'm a very organized person, very organized. I love planning, I love a strategy. But when it comes to writing creatively, I do not do that. It's the only thing that I don't strategize, I don't plan. Um, and I practice writing just by I don't know, for me, it's almost like channeling a higher power and putting it to my fingertips. And so um, I just like to write. I do it. Anyhow, I ended up going back to buy the Storyworth thing because it actually comes in a book too. They prompt you, they have these questions. Like my question was, what was my first job? And so I went into it and I started writing about my first job. And they also allow you to put pictures into it. And at the end of a year, so a year from today, when I'm finished with it, then I get they create this book from everything that I've written, including some pictures that I put into there. And then they ship the book to me. And I figured it would be a really good idea to do that before the holidays next year. So whatever happens to my family from here on out, specifically my dad, hopefully I'll have that book for everybody to just kind of look at during the holidays when we all get together. That's assuming we're all going to get together. So that's why I'm late. Hi, Sam. Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I was just checking. How's your dad?
Well, the good news is I actually talked to him where he was back to lecturing me. So that's always a good thing, right? When your parents kind of lecture you and well, at least for me, we know he's back to normal when he is criticizing and lecturing us. So that was earlier this week.
Hmm.
Um, his internal bleeding has stopped, and his pain has subsided for now, but he's still hallucinating and he's still kind of his body is still going through some stuff. So he's still in hospice. Otherwise, he's fine.
Can he eat on his own?
He started to eat applesauce on his own, but yesterday he was coughing. I went to visit him yesterday.
Hmm. And how's your mom taking all this?
She seems to be in better spirits. Um, yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of used to everything now, and I think it makes her hopeful that my dad's kind of improved a little bit. Um, and my brother is there, and my brother said that he's going to stay till Thanksgiving. So we'll see.
Did your kids go with him to go see your father earlier this week?
Well, Damien's still in Long Beach. He had plans with his girlfriend and his friends for Halloween, but Max came with me. There's not much we can do when my dad's asleep, and every time we visit him, he's asleep.
Hmm.
Oh, again, I'm sorry that I was late. I see it's like five till.
Actually, Jack was on earlier. I don't know if Heiner mentioned that. So we're
Yes.
covering some fascinating ground regarding a book that Heiner had recently come across.
Ah, yeah. Nice.
Hey, Heiner, earlier you were mentioning places where Christakis was living and where Kazantzakis was living. Have you ever been to Estonia?
I was often many times, but I never managed.
The more I look into it, the more it looks like a fascinating place.
Very competitive and presently politically um, very much in a place and an issue.
What's going on there politically?
World politics, no details.
It's a very small country, but it's known as the Silicon Valley of Europe. I don't know if you guys disagree with that.
I'm preparing something and I have to get my room done here. And I told you I have to put my leg up and I cannot really actually move very well. So I cannot open this can of worms. Um, an issue you probably have good reasons to ask.
Yes, it looks somewhat like a welcoming place for people fleeing the United States. They're very connected, they're very well educated, high rates of literacy, very progressive, very much online, relatively modern. I like what I'm finding about it. The only thing I've found as a con so far is it's really cold up there. But hey, if I can spread myself across two locations, that might be an attractive one. Anyway, that's why I'm considering hiring. Do you know anything about Albania? That's another very welcoming place. So anyway, Kayla, I've been looking into a few of these places.
Oh, yeah. You've been looking for quite some time now.
Well, there's so much to learn, so much to know. Everything I come across, alters the perspective. So it means that I'm still on the way towards converging. In every endeavor, there's like a divergence and then a convergence. So,
Yeah,
got to go into discovery before you go into, the home stretch.
right,
So
right.
this discovery phase is still kind of an opening, which is taking more time than I thought it would, but I don't want to rush it.
Of course. It's a smart move.
I've talked to probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 immigration attorneys now from various different places.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal life would be, half a year there, half a year here, and then, a few little side jaunts, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, in between. That would be pretty awesome. And I had probably a half hour, maybe a longer conversation with my friend in Bali. And so I've been looking into Bali um, rentals and purchase opportunities. Bali, like Thailand, is building a lot of very, very new housing. So it looks like it's fairly up to date. And those of us from California or the West Coast looking at those real estate prices, we just can't believe those prices. You'd probably feel the same way, Kayla.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm. I've been outlining this teen class idea that we talked about last week, by the way. So
Nice.
being organized, I always work off of outline. I'm very Engelbartian that way. So I can move around pieces of ideas in an outline way, way, way flexibly before I turn it all into text.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sam, only one notice. I just discussed with people from Thailand. You, as a foreigner, are not allowed there to buy any land.
That is correct. That's
And
right.
so it might be also with some other countries,
Yes.
but please be aware.
Yes. They do have these leasehold arrangements where you can basically lease the land for 30 years and you can renew it up to two more times. So some of these places, anywhere from 40 to 90 years, you can arrange this lease situation. But yes, I am aware of this. And in Mexico, it's similar too, except that it's within like 30 or 45 miles of the coast. You cannot own property. Have you been to Southeast Asia, those locations, Heiner? Because you mentioned you got a book from Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is one of those locations that seems very popular, but for me, I'm focusing more on a place called Hua Hin. It's less touristy, less go, 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 less, bustling nightlife. I'm not going for the nightlife. I'm not going for all of that. And Vietnam looks good too, Da Nang in particular, and Bali. And then in Japan, a lot of places around Chiba. So geez, Italy, fascinating. Italy is so amazing from what I can see. I hope it's as good in real life as it is in some of these videos and websites. But then, like I said, Estonia and Albania are coming up. Not so much Greece. I thought Greece would be, but not so much. And I think the problem with Germany is I think the cost of living in Germany still is relatively high. Okay, I'm done with my monologue. I don't know if you guys want to hang around. It's 10 o'clock already. We could embark on new topics or. Oh, by the way, Kayla, you probably already know this since you're very well organized, but we have a time change tomorrow. So I was reminding Heiner
Yeah.
that this will be at a different time tomorrow than it is today for him.
If you show up.
I did show up on time today, so
It's the Sundays, Sam. It's not today.
you
It's
are
the
correct.
Sundays.
Consider myself smacked on the butt. Yes, I am in the stockade.
Oh man. Well, I just wanted to say hi to you guys. Maybe I'll jump in tomorrow morning. Maybe I'll get well, actually not maybe. I know I will get myself organized, especially because of the time change. The whole thing is the dogs. I have to walk them in the morning. And when if the sun rises at 7 o'clock, that means everybody and their dogs will be out at 7. And it's hard for me to walk them when they get triggered by other dogs. So
So you have to go even earlier.
tomorrow, I'm sorry.
Do you have to go even earlier then?
Yeah, I like to. I don't like seeing people, especially people with their fucking dogs, dude. Half the time they don't know how to manage them. But anyways, so tomorrow hopefully I'll wake up even earlier so that I can take the dogs out. Then I can do my writing and then I could jump on a meeting.
Cool.
So
All right. Well,
Okay,
sounds like we'll call it a day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, and I will endeavor to get myself up on time.
perfect. Good to see everybody.
Okay. Later, Heiner.
Feel better, Heiner. Bye.
Bye.